Devils Friday. This is the Woo Report. The Woo Report, episode 308, titled Devils Youth Gone Wild. I'm your host, Sam Woo. Coming to you live from the Primetime Radio Studios here in the bunker in an undisclosed location in New Jersey. Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live, and Twitch on the Let's Go Devils Network. Just want to give a big shout out to Stagehouse Tavern in Mountainside, New Jersey. What a great event. Arlette was awesome. Shorts Guy was doing a duet karaoke, which I have the video somewhere. I will be posting on social media because Shorts Guy and Arlette, when the Devils were down 3-1, they were singing "Turn Around," and then just went on and on and on and on. And the Devils youth have gone wild. And the Devils obviously will be playing the New York Rangers in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. But this team is different. I know that the Rangers have veterans. I know that the Rangers went pretty far in the playoffs last season, riding the back of Igor Shesterkin. And I know the national media is going to make a big deal of the Devils youth. But I say, hold up. The Devils youth will be weaponized in the playoffs. These are the comeback kids. These are, as what Shorts Guy says, they are so young. They don't know that they're not supposed to be in the playoffs. They only know one thing, this young Devils team. One thing that they know, they just don't like losing. And it was on display last night. Luke Hughes scoring his first NHL goal. Jack Hughes in overtime, right there, assisting his brother to victory over the Washington Capitals, which, after the performance of the first half of the game, before Schmid came in, replacing Mackenzie Blackwood, the Devils could have certainly given up, especially when at that moment, Carolina had a 2-0 lead over the Florida Panthers at that moment. But they came back. They finished off the Washington Capitals. Now, all these comebacks, leading the league in comebacks this season, yeah, it could give you, the fellow Devils fan, a heart attack. However, it shows that this team has poise. It shows that this team has no quit. And this youth that's gone wild, Jack Hughes breaking franchise records with 99 total points on the season. And look, we can start pointing to one game where his goal got called back with some BS Toronto replay. In my mind, he's a 100-point player. One off from 100 points. But you know what? Jack Hughes has got many years with the New Jersey Devils. And think about the leadership, the veteran leadership on the New Jersey Devils. Andre Palat was brought in here to New Jersey for this moment, the playoffs. Having Palat in the locker room, Palat doesn't have to do much to be effective. Although it would be nice if he was called upon to score the big goal. But Palat, Halla, I would even put Lazar, Brendan Smith. They will need to guide this young team, Nico Hischier and Jesper Bratt, Jack Hughes, and the rest of the New Jersey Devils through uncharted territories in their career. But Palat has seen it all. And what a difference the Devils, the comeback kids, last season, such a poor season. And you know why the Devils are so good? What we're going to see against the Rangers, this Devils-Rangers rivalry has gone on since 1982 when the Devils came to New Jersey. John McMullen hated the Rangers. Even the great Martin Brodeur, in his book, I don't know the exact quote, but he says, "I hate the Rangers, and so does Lou." And this young team is going to experience this rivalry. The fans don't like each other. Literally don't like each other. And you better match the intensity of this playoff series. But getting back to the Devils' youth, already in the Athletic, they're talking about a deep, heavy Rangers team. But I would counter to say, you know what, the Devils don't, this team is so young, I don't think they even care. They're not intimidated. They can hang with the big boys, just like the big bad Boston Bruins a couple nights ago. Where Max was there taking video. But this youth will be weaponized. Will be absolutely weaponized. But they're going to need the seventh skater, which is you, the New Jersey Devils fan. I know the ticket prices are high, but if there is ever a time, even on this podcast, whether you're writing a blog or being a Devils fan at the water cooler, where you got a coworker that's a Rangers fan, this is the time to stand up. You do not lose to the Rangers. And I hope Jack Hughes, Nico Hischier, I know they know it, but do they really know it? Do they understand what this means to the average Devils fan that has been supporting this team for many years? I could tell you, I could relive many stories, the dominance that the Devils had over the Rangers from 97 to 2001. In 2006, the monkey off the back because the Devils at that point in their franchise history had not beaten the Rangers in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Going back to 92, the big brawl with Scott Stevens, that the bench clearing, we're talking about bench clearing brawl, which never happens in today's world. Game 6 at the Meadowlands. Obviously, we remember 94 because Madison Square Garden Network will always remind you about it. That's all they really have is 94. Then I believe in 97, when the Devils played the Rangers, I believe it was the second round, how many goals were called back because somebody's skate lace was in the crease. So they were 0-3, but the Devils swept the New York Rangers. Henrik Lundqvist's rookie season. I was there. A lot of you were in the building. Remember that 5-on-3. Remember that stand when the Rangers had a 5-on-3 power play for nearly 2 minutes. And as what Doc Emmerich would say on the broadcast, the chance of defense, which is normally in Giant Stadium, was happening at Continental Airlines Arena. Remember that Ken Klee outscored Jaromir Jagr in that series 1-0. The Devils swept the New York Rangers. Shorts guy was at Game 4 in 2006 at Madison Square Garden, which was turned into the Meadowlands for one day. And there are pictures of Devils fans holding their jerseys proudly when the buzzer sounded. Ariel says Skid Row, Jersey Zone. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then the Sean Avery series, where Sean Avery's antics were on display. And unfortunately, the Devils lost that series. And then the last series that these two franchises played was in the Eastern Conference Finals in 2012, where Ranger fans from the luxury suites were just chanting Marty, 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 hanging off the ledge to try to get an advantage. But Martin Brodeur and his scorpion saves was the difference. And then Game 6, we all know Game 6, a surreal day, one of the greatest Devils game ever to be played. And the infamous call by Doc Emmerich and Adam Henrique, it's over. But now we turn to a new chapter. You've got a Rangers team that needs to win now. But you have a Devils team that really shouldn't be here. Nobody would have ever predicted the Devils to actually make the playoffs, but be as high as the 4th seed with only one lousy shootout goal difference between the top seed in the Metropolitan Division, the Carolina Hurricanes, which I think kind of got lucky here. The Devils match up well against the New York Rangers, but they've got to rely on their youth. Wear down the New York Rangers with speed, 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 and more speed. Vitek Vanacek is going to be well rested. Tuesday next week, April 18th, we will be at American Whiskey for Game Day Live and Devils After Dark for Game 1, Devils versus Rangers. And we're going over the top. Those that hung out at Stagehouse Tavern, you know what I'm talking about. We had a great time. But we're going to have a better time. And don't let the national media or any these blogs sway you. Be true to yourself that you are a New Jersey Devils fan. And what's amazing about the Devils, getting back to that, their youth, Jack Hughes is a generational talent. Grew up on video games, the video game era, EA Sports. Now making those sick moves that 25 years ago you could only make in a video game, but now can be done on a consistent basis in the National Hockey League. What I'm getting at is this is a different generation. This youth versus what the New York Rangers have. I mean, their top picks of recent, times, Lafreniere and Capocacco, they're being displayed on the third line. Whereas the New Jersey Devils, top to bottom, you've got youth. I mean, hey, look at Luke Hughes in the second game. Gets the game-winning goal. It should be interesting where Luke Hughes fits with the New Jersey Devils in this playoff run. I know that there's been a lot of comparisons with him and Cale Makar, but I entrust Lindy Ruff and the coaches to put him, if he does play, put him in a situation that he will succeed. And that's, the playoffs is a different animal. And the more games the Devils play, the better. Better for the franchise, better for the New Jersey Devils and their fans, because we want to see a Stanley Cup rinse and repeat again. Mr. Mood Guy says 91 says metal is an acquired taste, most talented and diverse genre. After that, though, one of my favorite bands, Motley Crue. That's one of them. Guns N' Roses. They're talking about metal music in the YouTube Live. Happy Devil's Friday to you, Mike Rossi, in the Facebook Live. Michael, hey, hello. Let's see here. But yeah, I think the Devils, their youth, they just need to keep doing what they're doing. Well, dropping the podcast at midnight on this Friday night, Saturday, another Woo Report. Sunday, we will get things started with the Sunday edition of the Let's Go Devils podcast, 9 p.m. Eastern. Be there, be square. Also, State of the Fan address. PucksandPitchforks.com is going to be ramping up the coverage. So expect more podcasts all around. And, Ted, I like to know my connections too. Let's see here. Arnunius says Devils and Rangers match up well, very even, expecting 7 games. But yeah. So hope you're fired up, folks. Because I'll tell you, being in the building, Devils Rangers, you got to keep up the intensity from start to finish. And it should be a good one. Want to thank all those tuning in on this Friday night But we'll be back at American Whiskey in full force. It's going to be a great time. Hope to see you there. Hope to see you there. Dave Singer says there will be fights. Yes, there will be. At the NYPD versus Fire Department game. Mr. Moo Guy says 94 and nevermore. That is true. Alrighty. That's it for now. Enjoy your night, everybody, or morning. Till next time, this is the Woo Report. Let's go Devils.